now, here's your host, Duza COLD BEAR. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Duza COLD BEAR. So, nation, Monday means it's time for another segment of News You Can Use. Surprisingly, the big story doesn't involve impotus. Folks, as the midterms heat up, things are getting nasty, but thankfully, in most cases, Republicans are shooting blanks. Wow. Take their attacks on friend of the Late Show and four-time Texas House of Representatives member James TALARICO. As you might recall, TALARICO was scheduled to appear on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert on February 16th, 2026. CBS canceled the interview because of the Trump administration's intensifying pressure against broadcast TV networks, and network lawyers had even instructed Stephen not to have TALARICO on the show or mention the cancellation. Well, Colbert interviewed TALARICO anyway, spoke publicly about the cancellation, and rightly accused the cowards at CBS of censorship. Gee, I wonder why he got canceled. Bloody Nora. Then he posted the interview on the show's YouTube channel, where it gained 7.3 million views in just 2 days, making it the most viewed interview segment on the Late Show's channel in a year. The result, TALARICO won the Democratic primary, securing the party's nomination in the November midterm election, where he'll face Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who won the Republican primary runoff on May 26th. Well, now that the Trump party knows who they're sending into the ring, they're taking some of the weakest pot shots imaginable at TALARICO. Paxton's team, because come on, this guy didn't come up with any of these himself, has coined a series of insults for the 37-year-old state representative, including Tofu TALARICO, Six-Gender Jimmy, and Low T TALARICO. Low T? Is that a Texas thing? Low T? I know Trump likes low IQ, but, T? Anyway, TALARICO shot back at Paxton, highlighting Ken's history of corruption, calling Paxton, quote, the most corrupt politician in America, end quote, and pointing to Paxton's 2015 securities fraud indictment, 2023 impeachment, and recent controversial plea agreements. Then, famed Jabba the Butt Kisser Ted Cruz joined in, saying James TALARICO isn't masculine and couldn't handle a stiff breeze. Yeah, Ted Cruz said that. The most despised person in the U.S. Senate, according to U.S. senators, and the guy who rushes off to Cancun every time there's a bit of weather. Cruz is a man who looks like the illegitimate love child of Grandpa Munster and a melting wax figure, but he thinks he's got what it takes to go after a real man, TALARICO. Well, TALARICO hasn't been taking any of this lying down. First, he began selling Talafreak-out t-shirts on his campaign website just to mock Paxton, and then he appeared on Jen Psaki where he said this.
And here's what real men don't do. They don't lie and cheat their way through life. They don't sell their soul to the highest bidder. They don't steal from other people in order to enrich themselves. And so I've said before, and I will keep saying, that real men serve others, weak men serve themselves. And so I welcome this debate about what it means to be a man. And I don't think Ken Paxton or Ted Cruz are in a position to tell anybody what a real man is.
Oh, yeah. Boom, boom. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, the best part is TALARICO secured the endorsement of Houston attorney Dan Cogdill. Cogdill actually served on Paxton's defense team during the 2023 impeachment trial. I mean, ouch! And some circles are making a big issue out of the latest Iran deal, meaning it's time for another segment of Hormuz News You Can Use. Snooze. Jimmy, the Strait is only one part of this. Don't we have a broader graphic that better fits the ongoing not the war to end all wars? Not the war to end all wars. Wow, kudos to graphics. Despite what impotus claims, the U.S.-Iran Memorandum of Understanding is not an actual agreement, treaty, or final resolution of this issue. The MOU calls for the strait to be reopened immediately without tolls, with a return to pre-war shipping volumes within 30 days, and in return, the U.S. blockade would also be lifted. But the MOU simply extends the ceasefire for 60 60 days, including in Lebanon, with nuclear negotiations being held during that time. The text includes a framework for addressing Iran's enriched uranium stockpile, although any action on Iran's nuclear program would depend on a second, more detailed accord. And, of course, all this relies on Israel playing along, something that Benji Netanyahu thus far hasn't done on any agreement President Turnip has come up with. No one for a moment believes any final agreement will be better than what Barack Obama got, but Sleepy Don will crow as if it's the best deal ever in the history of deals. Mind you, he said the same thing about the USMCA when he negotiated that in 2020, and now Dementia Don has been attacking it ever since because of how badly it has been for America first. Who knew that when he said America first, what he meant was he'd be screwing over America first? Everyone! And finally, America's Unhealth, Unsciences, Unsecretary and recent winner of the Overcooked Hot Dog Lookalike competition, RFK Jr., has demanded the retraction of a 20-year-old Danish study that showed aluminum in vaccines does not cause health issues. The journal, of course, refused, saying the study has been repeatedly peer-reviewed and was found to have no significant flaws. I mean, imagine asking science to unscience itself. The crazy never ends with Sleepy Don's liquor cabinet, does it? Stick around, folks. Next up, we've got a special Father's Day edition of the Late Show Classic First Drafts, plus my sit-down with journalist Jerome Giraffe. And later still, another great musical offering with more special music guests. We'll be right back after this brief message.
Unos, dos, tres, cuatro.
Came to school from a big smart town. So much to learn, so much to...
Remember, there's a new Late Show segment premiering at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Mondays through Thursdays each week, with the full week's offerings posted in the digest format every Saturday. And patrons, even the free ones, who get their name in the credits just for signing up, get early releases of each segment during the East Coast prime time, so they don't need to wait until late night to see the show.